occurred in Sacto by night. Okay, there's a lot to that story, and that I'm happy to share with you. So the incident happened. There were 4 people involved. These 4 people, and I'm talking about on the shooter side, they were all gang members from the MOD gang, which stands for Masters of Destruction. It's an Asian criminal gang. None of the 4 were from here in Sacramento or have even ties to here in Sacramento.
Oh, wow.
2 were from Fresno, the other 2 were from the greater Stockton area. The only reason they were here was because they were at Cal Expo at the Hmong Festival. After the Hmong Festival, they had been drinking and partying. After the Hmong Festival at Cal Expo shut down, they wanted to continue their partying since they're here in Sacramento, so they punched up a good spot for Asian hangout spot, and they got Sacto by night, which was having a Hmong type of celebration also. It was about 1:30 in the morning. These guys show up. They show up to the club. They were already intoxicated and not acting very civilly, and so the bar said, "We're not going to let you in." At first there was some kind of tough guy posturing where they faced off with the security, but eventually these 4 turned around and left. They agreed to not go in the bar. Everything was fine with that. They actually left the bar property, went to the street where their car was. On their way out to their car, a couple of girls caught their eye and they made some advances towards them. Those advances were not well received, and a fight started between that group and these 4 gangsters who were drunk and acting foolish. So after that fight happened, these gangster guys got, and this is again out in the street, not even at the bar property. These gangster guys, by the way, who are saying MOD, throwing their gang signs out, so we're not guessing that they're gangsters, they're advertising it. They got into their cars, they shot 3 rounds at the people that they were fighting in the street, in their direction. Unfortunately, they missed those people, and in the background where those bullets ended up traveling, hit 2 people that were entirely uninvolved at the bar.
So they were never in the bar?
So these people were never in the bar.
Ah.
And the people that got shot were never in that. They were never intended targets.
Right.
It was purely it's still a murder. It's still a homicide, right?
And they were all caught?
So here's what happened after is the car takes off. There was excellent cooperation and excellent work by patrol, excellent cooperation by the witnesses at the scene and everything else. They end up catching that car and all 4 of them that day.
Wow.
There were 4 guns in the car. None of them are legal, are able to legally own firearms. But as it turns out, criminal street gangs don't obey the law. So they found 4 guns in the car, including the one that was involved in the shooting. It has to be a revolver with 3 spent shell casings inside of it. So, and plus they admitted it, and the witness statements were incredibly accurate. So all 4 of them got arrested. So a couple of takeaways from that. One is that it was a terrible tragedy, and something like that is horrible. Normally, though, when we see kind of gang-involved shooting, I tell you, the other party that they were fighting were not gangsters. It was over them making advances at girls, and then the men stepping in and kind of getting in this fight. So generally, when we see gang shooting, it's on another gang member, and then unfortunately, we Sacramentans have to live with that for the next year, right? Because there's got to be retaliation for that shooting, and then retaliation for the retaliation. This is not the case in this one. These people were not from Sacramento. They have no ties to Sacramento. This was a one-time incident that resulted in a tragedy. The people responsible are known and will end up doing significant time in prison, and that's kind of the end of it. Okay, other than just the picking up the pieces from the tragedy.